fixing anything. Not until we fix the vents because it's water from the whatchamacallit.
Every cross, every people, every dump, every pit stop, every loss, every victory, every single sport, we will be watching you.
Welcome inside the locker room.
All right, here we are inside the locker room as the hump of the week gets underway. It's Smooth Breakfast with Victor Peppo.
And Shepard Martins. We're here for 30 minutes bringing you all the big sporting stories. Now you can be part of the show. Remember, as always, sending in messages on WhatsApp 0809 444 0981.
Now, today we're taking things a little bit different and going documentary style with this introduction because on the 18th day of the 5th month of the year 2022 at 8:15, history was made as the tiger woke up and stepped to the mic in preparation for complete world domination. And here she is.
Good morning, Lagos. Pepper, if you talk again, we lose again.
Josh, I expect your letter to me, please. Thank you
Good
very
morning,
much.
Lagos. Hope you are doing good. Every Arsenal fan, it is Pepper that is responsible for your loss. Every time he disrespects me, you lose.
Wow.
I don't want us to lose again. I'm so quiet now.
Yes, Pepper,
Arsenal will stain your white.
take it from a reformed
Can we
Arsenal.
move away from that story? There are a lot of beautiful stories this morning, guys. Chopper wants to give the rundown. Jimmy Butler, I see you.
Yeah, okay.
We also see Granny Shaka, but we'll get to that.
So we'll take the news. Okay, so Jimmy Butler drops 41 points as Miami pulls away in Game 1 win. When Mimo Matthews sacked by Edo Queens. I don't know what's going on with that headline and meme. We didn't deserve to be on the pitch. That's what Shaka has to say. And Rangers coach urges fans to behave ahead of final. Liverpool title win not likely but possible, says Klopp. And Forest needs penalties to reach playoff final, whilst Frank Lampard confirms 2, not 1, 2 injured Everton players to miss Crystal Palace Premier League clash, and decision almost made over PSG future, according to Mbappe.
Yes, so all the top news happening. Before we get into let's just go into it.
All right, so the Miami Heat pulled out a 118-107 win over the Boston Celtics in Game 1 of the 2022 Eastern Conference Finals on Tuesday night. It was a tale of two halves for the Heat, who came alive in the third quarter to storm back from an 8-point halftime deficit and proceed to dominate the Celtics for the remainder of the game.
All right, so huge one in the Eastern Conference Finals on early hours of this morning.
Yeah.
All right. So here is the background. Miami Heat had the last time Miami Heat played a game. Boston Celtics played 3 games after them. That's how long Miami Heat had to rest. So usually there's that question of if they are they well rested, or will Celtics be fatigued, or will they be rusty? And because Celtics are still in fight mode, they just came back from a game 7 against defending champions. Maybe they're going to be a little better. What will happen? Nobody knew what was going to happen on court that day. Enter the game, jump off, and Miami goes 6 shots without scoring a single point. Sorry, Miami goes 6 points without scoring a single shot. Started to look like they're rusty. Boston Celtics go 7-0. To make matters worse, they were dominating in most of the first half. They were getting all the rebounds, they were getting all the second ball chances, and in transition, they were killing Boston Celtics. In the first half alone, Jason Tatum got 21 points. I don't know what they said at halftime in the locker room. This locker room is a place I really want to be. All I know is that Miami Heat came out and they scorched everything. All of a sudden, they went on a 22 to 2 point run at the start of the third quarter. They scored 39 points to Boston Celtics 15. Now, Jason Tatum scored 21 points in the first half. In the entire second half, third and fourth quarter, he scored only 8. didn't change the game. And I like what Jimmy Butler said at the end of the day. They kept it simple. So what did they do? They went back to the basics. They are a defensive team. They know how to defend.
Right.
And so what they did was they forced Boston Celtics to make that extra pass. And Boston Celtics were not getting those second chance rebound points they were getting in the first half.
Yeah.
They just went physical. For every single pass you made, they made you run down the clock. So the Celtics were either off balance or out of position just to make buckets like they were making the first half. It was a completely different game. Now we have to understand that yes, Boston Celtics were missing a key personnel in defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. However, even on the Miami Heat side too, they're missing Kyle Lowry. Sorry, who is the one in Bad Boys 2? Is it Mike Lowry?
Mike Lowry.
Okay. So it's Kyle Lowry that is the real life basketballer.
Oh,
I always use that to get them. They're missing Kyle Lowry. He was in street clothes. He was injured, sitting on the bench. But they didn't need his points because this young man, and I call him young with asterisks, this young man called Jimmy Butler, he dropped 41 points. Like, this dude, he has no off button. He was just like, you guys are leading by 13 points. I'm coming.
It's funny.
41 points he dropped, and 27 of those points came in the second half. It was just like, I just want to show
Ready for you.
I want to show you who I really am. Now, here's the thing about Miami Heat. Here's the thing about both teams. Boston Celtics on the road these playoffs, they are the number one team. They've won many games on the road. I think they've lost only 1 out of 5 games. Miami Heat are the best home team in the playoffs. They played 6 at home and lost none. So it was the best against the best. And Miami Heat, I'm sorry, they scorched everybody. And then it made me want to be in Florida because you saw all of them. By the time they were leading, everybody in their whites, all white, just standing up and cheering. I was like, oh, look at that. It's good to live by the beach. But it was an absolutely fantastic game. They completely scotched it. But here's what I think. Boston Celtics have seen that Miami is a completely different team from the Bucks. Bucks, they have one star player that can turn things around. For Miami yesterday, the player that really turned things around, yes, Jimmy Butler dropped 41 points, but the player that really made things happen was Tyler Hero, who came from the bench. He scored only 18 points, but it was the timing of his points and his assists that just started the revival for Miami Heat. So tough one for Boston Celtics. I don't know that they're going to come out of this winning, but I expect there to be a fight back. But tonight, though, the Western Conference final starts, and it's the Mavs against Golden State Warriors. I cannot wait to see that.
All right.
Okay, let's move over to the Edo Queens. And the management of Edo Queens Football Club has announced the sack of handler Wemimo Olarinwaju Matthew following the abysmal performance of the team so far in the ongoing Nigerian Women Football League Super 6 in Benin.
Yes, so let me explain to you why I picked this story. After they played the second match that they lost, the commissioner came to the press conference and announced that he doesn't know what is going to happen about the coaching after the event, but he knows that from now the coach is sacked. That's my God. Only in Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
Nigeria. I'm sure he won't. Look, I'm sure.
Commissioner of Sports, Edo State.
Yes, I'm sure she found out there that our coach is changing. I'm sure they were discussing when they were playing poorly that this girl is gone. Sorry, not this girl. This coach is gone.
Wow.
I keep saying girl. The coach was fired before the end of the match. Like, they had made the decision that these people they play nonsense bullshit. They're going. It was the commissioner that came. Have you ever seen that kind of thing before? The commissioner of sports came to the press conference. Just think about it. People are just sitting down waiting. Thomas Tuchel just played a bad game. He just see Todd Bowley come out to say, well, I don't know what's going to happen to Chelsea, but as of now, Thomas Tuchel is fired. Only in Nigeria. Anyway, but yeah, Edo Queens have lost their coach straight from the match, and they're going to have to navigate the rest of the Super 6 without the coach.
Now, question. Navigating Super 6 without a coach versus with a coach so bad the commissioner
I don't know why.
Had to come and
I
say
don't
that.
care how bad the coach was.
Which is better.
That's not how you fire somebody.
My
In fact,
God.
the rest of the girls will be like, are they going to pay us salary if we don't score?
I don't know
Nigeria,
about the
thank
team,
God.
but they're all gone.
You know, exactly. Just at the end of the match, we don't know about these girls, but they're all fired. We are going to be hiring new players at the end of the Super Six. It's the weirdest thing. But ongoing Super Six now, what's happening? At the top of the log is Nasa. No, it's Bielsa,
Okay.
and then Nasarawa. They're both on 6 points, but I think Bielsa with better goal difference. And then Delta Queens. You know how we like it in Delta, so we know they carry last. Delta Queens with just 2 points, so we've had 2 draws so far. Don't shout, your club is not
After
there.
all of that
Your
song
state
and
does not
dance.
have club there.
After all of that song and dance.
Yes, but we are third.
Third or fourth.
Third, but then there's Rivers United and Edo Queens, both on 1 point each, and then Rattle Girls, they are the last.
Okay.
With 0 points. So, like I said, we already not carry last. We are third. Where's your state club?
Rivers United.
So 1 point. You're not arguing with me 2
We'll
points.
soon pass you. I don't
That's
know
how
what you
Arsenal.
ever
You'll
said.
be arguing
Let's
with
talk
Arsenal.
about
You'll be
Arsenal.
arguing with me
Jare.
with Rivers United.
Let's talk about Arsenal. Next match now we'll beat you people.
Good.
You
So
know,
this is sad. I have to just read it on a sad note. Arsenal's defeat by Newcastle United on Monday was a disaster, and their players didn't deserve to be on the pitch, says midfielders has.
First of all, you should
remark.
emphasize disaster. And
Shokwe,
don't say
please
it
read.
like that.
Shokwe, please read this story. This guy is reading it in a biased way.
Arsenal's defeat by Newcastle
I thought
United
you were
on
Arsenal
Monday,
fan before,
wa-
Shokwe.
I said reformed, was a disaster of epic proportions, and their
Aye.
players didn't deserve to be on the pitch. Midfielder Granit Xhaka said in a remarkable rebuke of his teammates, saying it's difficult to find the right words. From the first minute to the 90th, we didn't deserve to be on the pitch. Where he has to say it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Granit Xhaka said that. Mikel Arteta said that. Well, I think it's what Granit Xhaka said that was interesting. It was like we didn't do what the coach said. Because oftentimes,
But I love that he says, I don't know why we're not doing it.
because oftentimes this thing comes back to the manager. You know, like I said before, you can't fire 23 players, where you can fire one man. And when there's when there's a tendency of inconsistency like we've seen at Arsenal, it's the kind of thing that you'll be surprised to say, but he said we didn't do what the coach said. Now, a lot of people say, and then why didn't the coach change him? Well, the coach cannot use players from Liverpool or Manchester City to execute their matches. He's going to only have to use the Arsenal players that are available to him, and the Arsenal players are not listening to him. So there's obviously a problem. But I think what happened was Arsenal got into the game. They thought they would have time to find their feet, and from the blast of the whistle, Newcastle pressured them. Newcastle is not fighting for anything. They have survived since. They're not fighting to go to Europe. They're just on the table having fun. And yes, they're playing at home. So yes, they want to give a great final home match to the fans. But it was the way they came out. They looked like the ones that wanted to go to the Champions League. That's how they pressed for 90 minutes. And Arsenal were just reacting to everything that Newcastle were doing. So they were second to everything. Second in desire, second in urgency, second to the ball, just second all through. I agree with Mikel Arteta. Arsenal did not deserve to win. So at the end of the day, I think it was the way that Newcastle approached the game that made the Arsenal players to react the way they did, which is where you question where are all the big players that are supposed to be standing up. So very horrible game, very poor game. But what it means is that Arsenal are now in fifth, 2 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, and they have to defeat an Everton side that may be battling for their life on the final day to go through, because Tottenham is playing a Burnley side that looks very, a Norwich side, sorry, that is very beatable and has already been relegated. So Arsenal, I don't know what to say. Pep Ondo.
Shokwe, it's okay.
Shokwe, I think you should read
Only
the
those
message.
watching the videos can see what Shokwe is doing to me in this studio. I need
let
help,
me put
Arsenal
it
fans.
this way. Let me put it this way. You know how once a smoker stops smoking, they become terrorists to all the
Yeah,
smokers?
so now you're becoming a terrorist because you're reformed.
Reformed.
You're
Arsenal
going to
fan.
win again.
Yes, we'll
We'll
take a
rise
break.
again.
I feel like I need to play the world's tiniest violin for Pepple right now. But it's all right. We'll take a break, and I'll look for the violin just for you, Pepple, just for you.
Your number
Disrespect
one.
you again. They will beat
Sorry,
your
sorry, ma. I will never disrespect you. Arsenal, stay your
No,
right.
no, no, for no. You have to beg me well. You have to beg me with food. And what I really want to eat is food from cafeteria. Breakfast from brunch from
All I have
cafeteria.
for you is food for thought. I will disrespect you.
This is why you have been losing. This is why you've been losing. You be giving me food for thought, food for thought.
Tajuddin, I don't know how to teach those introductory rhymes, man. It comes from somewhere in my soul, just somewhere deep
You
in
be
my
giving me
soul.
food for thought. That's why you've been losing. It's of you to buy me cafeteria brunch now.
We'll still know. Arsenal still go
No,
there
but
and
have
play
you bought
anyhow.
it first? Have you bought it first?
We'll buy it for you.
You don't know. You have to believe in faith.
That joke is for only both of us. Please, please, please.
I'm going to report it to Nonsense. I beat your team like. So we'll come back. We'll come back with the Arsenal comments. Let's let people be sad so before we read the next story.
Oh God.
Don't worry.
See,
you'll
if
be
you're
alright.
supposed to Arsenal, you cannot be sad.
Eh.
Nah, our heart is strong. We're used to it. Arsenal for life, it's like Chelsea fans.
No, Chelsea fans, the heart is not
Ah,
strong.
Chelsea fans.
They can be sober. When they beat Chelsea like this, it's like somebody died. Everywhere's quiet. It's not peaceful. It's
And
just
they're the ones
eerily
attacking
quiet.
me. Chelsea
Yes, no.
fans. They're the
They have to
ones.
feel better about their
They are
situation.
the ones.
They have to feel better about their condition. Don't worry, you'll be fine. So we'll come back
Arsenal.
with a few messages.
No, this is from May 1st.
Okay, this is fine. So we'll just come with the messages from WhatsApp and YouTube. Hey YouTube! See for people that is giving people food for thought. Even Mikel Arteta too is giving you food for thought. Pick some more.
Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal.
What's the song they sing?
Arsenal, sad love song. Just Arsenal.
It's the way they always call it. If I'm Ian Wright, I'll pretend that I don't want to be on duty every time I say, because when they call Ian Wright to the studio, Arsenal will lose. His voice will now be cracking. All of a sudden, his manhood will be obvious. His voice will be cracking. You can't play like that.
We're back in. All right, we're back in with the messages and the torment for Pepple. Let it begin. Okay, so this one in from Cruz, who says Arsenal has done it again. Now, only Shopee they feel sad for. Victor, no, they make mouth before match starts.
Never.
We're begging you.
Never.
And anything can happen. I actually thought Arsenal was going to pull a Real Madrid, but alas. And he also says, Tiger, Arsenal is just fine. It's fine just being on the table. Remember, they started the season in 21st position, almost off the table.
But
Whilst-
hey, look at where we are on the table now. We tried.
He was
Shad.
talking about Newcastle.
And Ian says, if this Arsenal matter was a Nigerian setting type, one would have suspected that one gallant babalawo somewhere had done some juju and put them in a bottle or calabash or something. Arsenal would just disgrace you.
You know?
I think that's a fact.
Whilst Emmanuel from Surulere says, did you see how the Arsenal players were gasping for breath after the match? I've never seen something like this before. Newcastle made them run for their lives. Are those
Chelsea
Newcastle
fan.
players on drugs? Saint Maxima in particular, says Emmanuel, whilst Emeka from Amuo says Arsenal had bought expression of interest form for UEFA Champions League, only to be kicked out even before the tournament started. I'm still highly disappointed with the team. Now we are depending on relegated Norwich to beat Tottenham on the last
They're the
game.
kind of people that should have found out that their coach was sacked at the press conference. That's the team that you sacked the coach at the press conference.
Any banter coming our way, we deserve it. Thursday night football, here we come. And Oluwakemi has sent in a message saying Newcastle played like they were the ones going to the Champions League and not Arsenal. This is the first time Shaka is making sense. Oh. And Jesse from Ojo says, all hail the queen of sports, Tega. It's quite a feeling hearing you talking sports. Okay, hashtag locker room.
Oh, thank you.
And Big E from Katie says, oh man, on the Arsenal matter, just tire me. I begin to wonder which set of Arsenal team beats Chelsea, Man U, West Ham. Shaka could not blame anyone. All of them are to blame. While the match was going on, I saw Mikel Arteta about to shed tears. It's not easy being a coach to a banter champions, the only league we win best. Now, wow, for my club, Tega, pray for Arsenal. You know, easy.
I will see
Well,
about that.
on YouTube, Aderigba says at least the attention has been taken away from Chelsea. This is the sixth or seventh straight season Arsenal is missing out from CL, football. Let that sink in.
Mm.
And Ogundikwe is saying, "Good morning, everyone. How you guys doing? I was pained when Ghana lost to Newcastle, but I'm not their fans. I'm not their fan. I think that's what he's saying. But want to feel what it means to be in UCL.
Oh
Pepper,
yeah.
I have a letter. Please help me read this out loud.
I'm not reading it.
Oh my God.
Why
I'm not reading this
Wow.
Let's
particular.
read the Rangers
Never.
story first.
Never.
Okay.
And then we get it later.
And
So-
Rangers coach Giovanni Van Bronckhorst urged the 100,000 Scottish fans that are expected to arrive in Seville for Wednesday's Europa League final to be on their best behavior, saying it's not often that we are able to reach a European final, so we have to enjoy this moment and make sure, the most important part, we don't cause any trouble.
Yes, Shokwe, tell your cousins because that's how you should travel and cause troubles. So the first thing they said as soon as they saw 100,000 Scottish fans, they said,
Like,
hey,
oh,
these UK people have come. Oh." The police had already come out with their own statement. You guys should, you could tell that the statement, even if they kept saying fans from Rangers and Frankfurt.
Please, we know.
Exactly, you knew that they were directing their comments and warning to the people from the UK. They're like, these UK people, just calm down. And so just this one, people come in large numbers. Just respect the host city. Let's do this. Abide by this. Let it all
Even
be.
the coach is pleading.
Even the coach has to plead because I say Shokwe's cousins. You have not seen those people before.
See, football, just like with a number of things, football hooliganism had to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
The original source is the most potent. Do you
They'll
understand?
just give us a repeat of what happened.
Yeah,
at
so
Abuja
Rangers,
Stadium.
bottom line, Rangers better win for many reasons.
Or else what happened in Abuja? Super Eagles
No,
match.
they don't even. No,
That's baby steps.
That's baby steps. That's.
Yeah, that one didn't have much to compare to
Anyway,
what they
so
can do.
but let's shift from her cousins now and go to what is happening on the pitch. There will be Nigerians in some form of action. We don't know how many minutes all of them will get, but Calvin Bassey, Joe Aribo, and Leon Balogun.
That's why I'm always looking at Rangers.
Yeah,
Our
are
people.
going to be in action in this final. So we need to. I think a few Nigerians that are watching this will be supporting them just for that. But Rangers have moved mountains just to get to this final, and it's a really huge deal for them. So they want to go all the way. Frankfurt, on the other hand, have calculated their way here. If you ask me, the side that looks to have the better game management has been Frankfurt. So if you think about it on that basis alone, you say they're going to be able to navigate a final. But Rangers have the passion, the desire, the willingness. Hopefully, it doesn't fall apart on the day, and we have Nigerians with the Europa League title to hold on to. So go Rangers tonight. We'll be supporting you, and please, Rangers fans, no trouble. Please, it's Seville, no trouble.
All right, let's take you to this other one. Liverpool, right? Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp said it was not likely but possible that his team could, buy Manchester City to the Premier League title in Sunday's final round of games. In his words, it is possible, not likely but possible. That's enough.
Yeah, but possible is enough because Manchester City faced Aston Villa and Steven Gerrard. And if you understand that Manchester City had a hard time defeating West Ham United and David Moyes, then you know what Aston Villa can do. Aston Villa will trouble you. And Manchester City have to find a way where they are not too predictable because that's what they've become. That's why it's made it easy for teams to hold out against them. Maybe not defeat them outrightly, but sometimes just frustrate them. And that's what Steven Gerrard and his boys will look to do. They'd look to frustrate Manchester City, so they better prepare. Liverpool, on the other hand, seem to have the easier game. But Jurgen Klopp understands his business. If he does his job well, and then he can hope for Aston Villa not losing, and then he wins the trophy, and quadruple is still back right on. So yesterday wasn't pretty football. It wasn't the usual suspects you see. It was a well changed lineup. Like he said, it was the extra Ferraris in his garage. That's how he called it. That he brought out on the day. and they delivered. So different players, same result. And that's the kind of team he's created, that he can bring in somebody from the bench and the result would still be the same. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't the most excellent football match you see, but he needed 3 points from the game yesterday. He got 3 points. And that's all that needs to happen for him to win the title.
All right, now this next story is just for you, Emma from Surulere, who says, "Tigger, please talk about Nottingham Forest." Well, they are one game away from returning to the Premier League for the first time since 1999 after edging out Sheffield United on penalties in a dramatic championship playoff semi-final.
Yes, this one I watched. Shockingly, I watched it on that other American channel. You know what it is. But huge match. Nottingham Forest had won the first leg. So it looked like playing at home, they were definitely going to finish the job at home. They get an early goal, and all of a sudden, Sheffield just wake up. Sheffield decided that they want to go to Wembley, and they scored 2 goals. And they could have scored more if not for the goalkeeper Samba, who saved them. So Nottingham Forest, they dominated possession. They looked to create chances, but the clear-cut chances came to Sheffield. And if it was not for that goalkeeper, I keep saying the goalkeeper was the hero of the day. He saved them and took the match all the way into the penalty shootout. Then in the penalties, first penalty up, Samba stands. The shot comes, Samba saves. So it sets the tone for the rest of the penalties. He saved like 3 penalties every day. Yeah. So if they save your first penalty, you can imagine that the rest of the guys will just be walking up to the spot very nervously trying to put the ball in the back of the net. But it was the goalkeeper that did the business, and that's his job for Nottingham Forest. So everybody will be excited for Nottingham Forest. Everybody who knew Deji Tinubu, because Deji Tinubu is one of the best pundits in Nigeria. And then you ask him, which football club do you support? And he said Nottingham Forest. With pride. People in the championship, you're supporting with your full chest. So yes, if you knew him, you'd be happy that this team is going through. But yesterday, I really watched the game. Like I said yesterday, Sheffield could have taken it in regulation time if not for the goalkeeper. But the passion and the determination behind the Nottingham Forest players made me root for them, and all the way to the penalties. So now they play Huddersfield in the final in Wembley, and that determines if they get to the Premiership. Will they be able to defeat Huddersfield? Not sure.
All right, let's tell you, Frank Lampard has provided a fresh injury update on his Everton side ahead of their midweek match against Crystal Palace at Goodison Park.
Yeah, so Everton play for survival again. They go tomorrow for survival again against Crystal Palace, and this time they're even more. Their players are even more reduced than they were against Brentford. Brentford, they played with 9 men and still could have come away with a point. 2 silly red cards, if you ask me. Still could have come away with a point if a penalty was given. But they faced a Crystal Palace, which is a tougher side to face. And now they're facing without any centre backs, any natural centre backs. So we wait to see how this works out for Frank Lampard. But he's really trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and hopefully he can make it. If he does manage to win against Crystal Palace, Arsenal may have an easier match. So pray for an Everton win tomorrow.
They'll win.
real quick, let's take your messages up on YouTube. Ogundikpe Oluwasegun says, "Hello, Klopp is playing mind games with Pep, but I believe if Liverpool can get to this stage in the final game of the season, they can win the EPL. But it's football; anything can happen." Also, Lauren Wajakomu says, "Quadruple unloading. You never walk alone." Going over to WhatsApp. Oluwakemi says it's good that Seville is putting this out because football hooliganism is top notch. I remember the Arsenal-Chelsea Europa final. Some fans were arrested even before the match.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait for the match. They started fighting. And then after, there were people clubbing each other on the head.
Exactly.
Fighting in the tube. All sorts.
Well, Aston Villa is headed by Liverpool ex-player. They may upset Man City. Liverpool still has hope, I think so. That's from Mike Nojodu.
And that is that for the locker room. Do make sure you go catch Tega if you can up on Twitter. She is at Tega Supreme, and you can find also what she does at LIS International on Twitter and on Instagram. And finally, just because this is what I like to do, I'm going to read the letter that Peppa has refused to read.
Please read it out with some background music.
Yes.
Of course, she had to get out a classical violin sound
Here we go.
to accompany this letter.
Here we go. Okay. Where are we? Dear Shockman, I must confess, it was a beautiful intro. It got me smiling. But most importantly, Tega loved it. However, I have noticed a huge problem. It seems our man Pepple is staying away from this intro. The idea is for him to learn. What's going on, Pepple?
Okay, next week. If you want to talk to me direct. Stop coming through the corners.
And good morning to you. Here we go.
He called your name, dude. He went directly for you.
If you want to
He
talk to
comes
me,
ready to come.
talk to me direct. Say, I'll do it next week.
Please, next week. Don't shout my name. Just
I'll stand up next week
You
when I'm
see-
introducing you. Hi, everybody. Take it.
you see how you sit on some of those girls with soft voice?
Yeah, you're
That's
just...
what it- yeah, use your soft voice.
That's the way.
Just
oh
try.
no.
Guys,
I'll kill you.
You kill it.
Tega, you have to look outside. You see that the sky has darkened. The stars are shining. It is now night time. By the time Pepple's done.
See y'all.
All right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Bye, YouTube.